Hey there, dear listener. Don't panic. I'm not the one narrating tonight's story. My voice isn't exactly bedtime material. I'm just here to wish you a very good night. Even if no one notices, you've been fighting your own battles, and I hope everything in your life turns out just the way you want. If you like, you can join the Prehistoric Sleep family by subscribing. And hey, if you're on your phone, just tap the screen once and hit that little thumbs up in the corner. Now, get ready for the mysterious life of our saber-toothed tiger. Clear your mind, relax, and enjoy.
The ocean is vast. The ocean is endless. The ocean hides secrets that the land will never know. Within its depths lives the greatest animal to ever exist. Larger than any dinosaur, larger than any creature of the past or present. The blue whale, the silent colossus of our world. It stretches longer than 3 school buses. It can reach more than 30 meters in length. Its weight is more than 170 tons. That is more than the weight of 40 elephants. That is more than the weight of a small ship. The sheer size of the blue whale makes it almost impossible to imagine. When you close your eyes, you can try to picture its body moving through the waves. You can try to imagine its back breaking the surface of the sea. You can try to hear the splash of water as it exhales through its blowhole. The sound echoes like thunder. The mist rises like smoke. This is not fantasy. This is reality. This is the living giant of our planet. The heart of the blue whale is the size of a small car. It weighs more than 400 kilograms. Every beat of this heart sends blood through its massive body. The sound of the heartbeat can be heard from more than 3 kilometers away. If you were close enough, you could hear it. A deep, steady rhythm. Boom, boom, boom. Each beat steady like a drum of nature. The tongue of the whale weighs as much as an elephant. The mouth can hold up to 90 metric tons of water and food. And yet it feeds on some of the smallest creatures in the sea. Tiny shrimp-like animals called krill. Billions of them. Swallowed every day. The largest animal ever known survives on some of the smallest animals on Earth. That is one of the greatest wonders of nature. The skin of the whale is blue-gray, sometimes mottled, sometimes scarred from encounters in the deep. Its dorsal fin is small compared to its size. Its flippers are long and powerful. Its tail, the fluke, wide and strong. With one movement of the fluke, the whale can push its massive body through the water. It moves with grace, with elegance. Despite its size, it is a master of the ocean. It glides silently. It disappears into the blue. The eyes of the whale are surprisingly small, each about the size of a grapefruit. For a creature so massive, the eyes are modest, yet they have seen more than we can ever imagine. They have seen the endless migrations across oceans. They have seen the dark trenches. They have seen the shimmering light above the waves. These eyes have looked upon the deep mysteries of the world, and yet they remain calm, gentle, watching, waiting for millions of years. Whales have swum in the oceans of Earth. Their ancestors once walked on land. They were small 4-legged mammals that lived near the shores more than 50 million years ago. Over time, they adapted. Their legs became fins. Their nostrils moved to the top of their heads. Their bodies became streamlined. They returned fully to the sea. They became the masters of the deep. The blue whale is the peak of this journey, the final form of a lineage that left the land behind. Imagine a world when dinosaurs ruled the earth. Massive sauropods stretched across the land. Gigantic predators hunted in forests and plains. Yet none of them, Not even the mightiest Argentina, not even the ferocious Spinosaurus, reached the size of the blue whale. The oceans created a creature greater than any land could hold. The water supported its weight. The water gave it freedom. And so the blue whale became the largest creature ever to exist. Its lungs are enormous. Each breath brings in thousands of liters of air. The whale can dive for more than half an hour. Some dives stretch close to 1 hour. During these dives, the whale searches for food. It opens its mouth wide. It engulfs water filled with krill. It closes its mouth. The baleen plates inside filter the water. The krill remain. The whale swallows them. Then it repeats, over and over. During peak feeding, a blue whale can consume up to 4 tons of krill every day. That is 4 million small creatures. All devoured by one giant. Blue whales are found in every ocean, from the Arctic to the Antarctic. They migrate thousands of kilometers each year. In the summer, they feed in cold, rich waters near the poles. In the winter, they travel to warmer tropical waters to breed and give birth. This endless migration is one of the most impressive journeys in nature. Thousands of kilometers across vast oceans. Guided by instinct, guided by ancient memory, they follow paths older than human civilization. A newborn blue whale is already one of the largest creatures in the ocean. At birth, it is about 7 meters long. It weighs up to 3 tons. Every day during its first year, it gains more than 80 kilograms. It drinks more than 300 liters of milk per day from its mother. This milk is rich and thick. The calf grows rapidly. Within months, it is larger than most fully grown animals on Earth. The bond between mother and calf is strong. The calf follows the mother on migrations, learning, growing, becoming a giant. Despite its size, the blue whale is not a predator of the strong. It does not hunt seals. It does not fight sharks. It does not use speed or teeth. It uses size. It uses endurance. It uses the abundance of the smallest food in the sea. This balance is fragile. Billions of krill are needed to feed the whales. The ocean must remain rich. The cycles of life must continue. Without krill, the whales cannot survive. And yet, despite this dependence, they have thrived for millions of years. The sounds of the blue whale are among the loudest in the animal kingdom. Low-frequency calls that travel across hundreds of kilometers. These songs are deep, powerful, some of the lowest sounds made by any animal. Humans cannot hear all of them, but other whales can. They communicate across oceans. They call to each other. They share the sea with voices that echo through the depths. Imagine lying in the dark ocean, feeling the vibration of a call that traveled more than 500 kilometers. That is the power of the blue whale song. The Silent Colossus is not truly silent. It speaks in tones too low for us to hear. It moves with a grace too vast for us to follow. It lives in a world too deep for us to explore fully. But we know enough to understand. We know enough to marvel. This is the greatest animal to ever exist. This is the ruler of the ocean. This is the blue whale. As night falls over the ocean, the waves grow calm. The stars shine above. The vast body of the whale moves slowly beneath the surface. Each movement steady, each breath powerful. The mist from its blowhole rises like a cloud in the moonlight. The sound echoes across the sea. This sound is ancient. This sound is timeless. It is the heartbeat of the ocean. It is the breath of the giant. Close your eyes and drift with the whale. Imagine the endless blue around you. Imagine the weight of the world floating with ease. Imagine the heartbeat of a giant guiding you into calm. This is the Silent Colossus. This is the beginning of our journey. The body of the whale is an ecosystem of its own. On its skin live barnacles, small crustaceans that attach themselves and never leave. They ride the whale across oceans, feeding on whatever drifts by. There are also whale lice, tiny parasites that cling to the folds and scars of the skin. Together they form a small world living on the surface of a giant. When a whale dives deep, this ecosystem dives with it. When it rises to breathe, this ecosystem rises too. A whole community depending on the colossus. Scars tell stories. Some whales bear white marks across their flanks. The marks come from fights with orcas. Killer whales sometimes attack calves. They circle, they bite. They test the strength of the mother. Most of the time, the blue whale survives. The scars remain as reminders, proof of battles in the endless sea. Other scars come from entanglements with fishing gear, ropes that cut into the skin, nets that trap the fins. These scars are not from nature, they are from humans. They remind us that the whale lives in a world shaped not only by nature but by us. The blue whale's blow is one of its most iconic sights. When it surfaces, it exhales with force. The spout of mist and vapor can reach up to 12 meters in height. From miles away, sailors can see this blow. It is the signal of the whale. The giant is near. The breath of life rises into the sky. Then the whale inhales, filling its lungs with air, ready for another long dive. This rhythm, surface and dive, breathe and feed, is the heartbeat of its existence. The speed of the blue whale is deceptive. Normally it cruises at about 5 knots, gentle, steady, but when needed it can accelerate, reaching more than 20 knots in short bursts. For such a massive creature, this speed is incredible. It can outpace ships. It can escape threats. Yet it prefers calm movement. Energy conserved. Life measured in long journeys. The sense of hearing in whales is extraordinary. They can detect sounds across entire ocean basins. Low frequencies travel farther in water than in air. The ocean is a world of sound. Light does not penetrate deeply. Vision fades, but sound carries. The whale listens. The whale communicates. In this dark world, sound is survival, and the blue whale is a master of it. Consider its lifespan. A blue whale can live 80 to 90 years. Some individuals have been recorded at over 100. They outlive generations of humans. They travel the oceans decade after decade, migrating thousands of kilometers, giving birth, raising calves, singing songs. They are living history. Every old whale carries with it a century of memories of the sea. The population of blue whales once numbered in the hundreds of thousands. Before whaling, they thrived in every ocean. But in the 19th and 20th centuries, humans hunted them relentlessly. Their oil was valuable. Their baleen was used in products. Their meat was consumed. Industrial whaling killed nearly 90% of the world's blue whales. By the 1960s, they were driven to the brink of extinction. Only a few thousand remained. The Silent Colossus nearly disappeared. International bans on whaling were put in place in the mid-20th century. Slowly, populations began to recover. Today, it is estimated that about 10 to 25,000 blue whales remain. They are still endangered. They are still fragile. But they are here. They survived the age of whaling. They swim the oceans once more. Each sighting of a blue whale is a treasure. Whale watchers who glimpse the spout and the rolling back of the giant never forget it. The sight of the fluke disappearing into the deep leaves an impression of awe. It is a reminder that we share the planet with something far greater than ourselves. Something that humbles us. Something that connects us to the ancient rhythms of nature. The physiology of the whale is perfectly adapted to its environment. Its thick blubber insulates it from cold waters. This layer of fat can be more than 30 centimeters thick. It keeps the whale warm in freezing seas. It also stores energy for migrations when food is scarce. The muscles of the whale are powerful, driving it through water with strength and endurance. Its skeleton is flexible, allowing it to bend and move with fluid grace. Every part of its body is a product of evolution, refined over millions of years. Blue whales are gentle giants. Despite their size, they are not aggressive. They do not attack humans. They do not threaten ships. Encounters are marked by curiosity rather than hostility. Divers who have been near blue whales describe a feeling of calm, a sense of being in the presence of something immense and kind. The eye of the whale meets the eye of the diver, and in that moment, two worlds connect. When storms rage on the surface, the whale remains below, safe in the depths. The waves crash. The winds howl. But in the quiet beneath the surface, the whale glides undisturbed. The ocean shelters its greatest child. The Colossus continues its journey, calm, steady. Eternal. Legends have risen around whales. In many cultures, they are seen as symbols of wisdom, of power, of mystery. Some ancient stories describe sea monsters, enormous beings that could swallow ships. Perhaps these stories were inspired by whales. The truth is even more wondrous than myth, for the whale is real, and its scale surpasses imagination. At night, the ocean becomes a different world. The surface shimmers with moonlight. The depths grow darker. The whale rises to breathe. The sound echoes across the sea. A reminder of life in the vast silence. For those who listen, the call of the whale is haunting. It is music. It is history. It is the voice of the ocean itself. As you listen to this story, you can imagine drifting with the whale. You can picture the endless blue, the vast rolling waves, the calm presence of the giant beside you, each breath like a lullaby, each movement like a cradle. You are safe in the company of the Silent Colossus. The Silent Colossus moves through a realm that covers more than 70% of our planet. The ocean is its kingdom. Its highways are currents that circle the globe. From the icy waters of Antarctica to the warm seas near the equator, the blue whale travels. It does not need borders. It does not know nations. Its home is the earth itself. When the sun rises, the surface of the ocean glitters with gold. The whale rises too. Its blow sends mist into the morning air. The sound echoes across the water, a greeting to the new day. Beneath the surface, schools of fish scatter as the giant passes. Tiny krill drift in clouds. The whale opens its mouth. A rush of water, a flood of life. The baleen filters. The krill remain. The feast continues. This is the rhythm of survival, day after day, season after season, year after year. Scientists study whales to understand the health of the oceans. The presence of whales is a sign of balance. When whales thrive, the ocean thrives. Their feeding stirs nutrients from the depths. Their waste fertilizes plankton at the surface. This cycle creates life. The whale is not only the largest animal, it is also a gardener of the sea. Without it, the ocean would be poorer. The Silent Colossus enriches the waters with every journey. The skeleton of a blue whale washed ashore is a cathedral of bone. Its ribs arch like pillars. Its skull stretches longer than a car. Museums that hold these skeletons inspire wonder in all who see them. Visitors stand small beneath the bones. They imagine the living giant. They feel humility, for in the presence of the whale, even in death, humanity is small. Technology has allowed us to follow whales like never before. Satellite tags show their migrations. Acoustic recordings capture their songs. Drones film their dives. We learn more each year, yet the mystery remains. The ocean is vast. We know only fragments. The life of the whale is still a secret world, a hidden story told in deep waters. There are stories of sailors who saw whales at dawn. The calm sea broken by a massive back rising from below. They spoke of fear and awe. They spoke of shadows that seemed as large as islands. They spoke of blows that rose like geysers. Some prayed, some watched in silence. All remembered. The sight of the whale could not be forgotten. Children who read about whales dream of them. They imagine swimming beside the giant. They imagine hearing its voice. They imagine touching the smooth skin. For children, the whale becomes a symbol of wonder, a reminder that the world is larger than they knew, that there are mysteries waiting beyond the horizon. The future of the blue whale depends on us. Ship strikes, pollution, climate change, all threaten their survival. Yet there is hope. Marine protected areas, conservation efforts, international cooperation. These offer safety. These give the whales a chance to thrive again, to increase their numbers, to fill the oceans with their songs once more. When you close your eyes, you can imagine the scale. A heart larger than a human body, a body longer than a basketball court, a weight heavier than a jet plane. Yet it moves with silence, with grace, with peace. That is the paradox of the whale. Immense, yet gentle, mighty, yet calm. As darkness falls again, the whale surfaces for a final breath of the day. The stars shine above. The moon reflects on the water. The giant exhales. The mist rises silver in the night. The call echoes across the still ocean. Then it dives, down into the depths, into the silence, into the eternal blue, and as you drift into sleep, you follow it. You drift beside the Colossus, safe in its company, guided by its calm, held by its rhythm. The world fades. The ocean cradles you. The giant leads you deeper and deeper into rest, into peace, into dreams. Before the blue whale became the ruler of the oceans, there were other giants, creatures of the past that swam through ancient seas. Their bones tell us stories. Their fossils reveal their shapes. They were the ancestors of whales. They were the first steps on the path to the Silent Colossus. More than 50 million years ago, in the early Eocene epoch, there lived a creature called Prehistoric. It was small, about the size of a wolf. It lived near rivers and shallow seas. It had 4 legs. It could walk on land, but its ears showed signs of adaptation for hearing underwater. Prehistoric is one of the earliest ancestors of whales. It still looked like a land animal, yet it had already begun the journey back to the sea. As time passed, other forms appeared. Ambulocetus, known as the walking whale. This creature could both walk on land and swim in water. It was a predator. It used its powerful limbs to move through rivers and coastal seas. It hunted like a crocodile, waiting for prey near the water's edge. When the moment was right, it lunged, teeth sharp, jaws strong. Ambulocetus shows us the transition. It was a mammal returning to the ocean, learning to live between two worlds. Later came creatures like red. Its body was more adapted to swimming, its limbs shorter, its tail stronger. It spent most of its time in the water, less on land. Evolution was shaping it, step by step, generation by generation. The ocean was calling, and mammals were answering. By 35 million years ago, fully aquatic forms had appeared. Basilosaurus, despite its name meaning king lizard, it was not a reptile. It was a mammal, a giant of its time. Basilosaurus could reach lengths of up to 18 meters, its body long and serpentine. Unlike modern whales, its spine was flexible. It moved with eel-like motions. It was a predator. It hunted fish. It hunted smaller whales. It was one of the first true giants of the sea. Basilosaurus had tiny hind limbs. They were useless for walking, but they remained as reminders of its past. The bones of legs still attached to a body that no longer needed them. These vestiges show us the truth. Whales once walked on land. Now they ruled the sea. Alongside Basilosaurus lived Dorudon, smaller but more similar to modern whales. Dorudon was about 5 meters long. It had flippers, a tail fluke. It swam like whales do today. It was agile. It lived in pods. It gave birth in shallow waters. Fossil evidence shows mothers and calves together. Dorudon represents the model from which modern whales evolved. As millions of years passed, the lineages of whales diverged. Some became toothed whales, hunters with echolocation, dolphins, orcas, sperm whales. Others became baleen whales, giants that filter-fed on small prey. This split defined the whales we know today. The ancestors of the blue whale belong to the baleen lineage. Early forms like Lanocetus lived in Antarctica about 34 million years ago. Fossils show baleen-like structures. These whales fed on small fish and plankton. The ocean was changing. Currents were forming. Nutrients were rising. The stage was set for giants to grow. During the Miocene epoch, about 20 million years ago, baleen whales expanded. Species grew larger. Oceans were rich with food. Upwellings brought nutrient. Plankton bloomed. Krill multiplied. Whales fed and grew. Some species reached lengths over 15 meters. The giants were rising. The evolution of size is tied to the ocean's productivity. Cold, nutrient-rich waters create food webs that support giants. When the Antarctic circumpolar current developed around 34 million years ago, it changed the ocean forever. It brought nutrients from the deep. It fueled blooms of plankton. It created the conditions for whales to become massive. By the Pliocene epoch, about 5 million years ago, true giants had appeared. Ancestors of the blue whale reached immense sizes. They perfected filter feeding. Their baleen plates grew long. Their throats expanded. They could engulf tons of water in a single gulp. This adaptation allowed them to consume vast amounts of krill quickly, and with more food came more growth. Size became survival. The largest could travel farthest. The largest could endure longest. The largest could thrive in changing seas. Imagine standing on a shore millions of years ago, looking out to the sea, seeing a shape longer than a house break the surface, the blow rising into the air, the back rolling like a hill. These were the first giants. They were the precursors to the blue whale. They were the ancient colossi of the ocean. Fossils give us glimpses, but not the full picture. Teeth, bones, vertebrae, they tell us length. They tell us form, but the living creature is gone. Only imagination can restore the sound of its call, the shimmer of its skin, the power of its dive. Yet in the living blue whale we see echoes. We see the legacy of millions of years. When paleontologists uncovered Basilosaurus skeletons in the 19th century, they thought they had found a reptile. Its long body seemed like a serpent. Only later did they understand it was a mammal. The story of whale evolution was complex. It still is. Each fossil adds another piece. Each discovery shows us the path, from land mammal to walking whale, to serpent giant, to modern colossus. The ocean has always created giants. Ichthyosaurs in the age of reptiles, mosasaurs in the Cretaceous, but none reached the size of the modern blue whale. The baleen feeding strategy allowed growth beyond all limits. No teeth, no need to chase, only filter, only abundance. This was the secret. This was the key to gigantism. As the ages passed, climates shifted. Oceans warmed and cooled. Ice ages came and went. Through these changes, whales adapted. Some species vanished. Others grew. Always the giants returned. Always the seas gave rise to colossal beings. The ancestors of the blue whale carried this legacy. They learned to travel across vast distances. They learned to follow the food. Their bodies stretched longer. Their hearts beat stronger. Their presence shaped the balance of life in the oceans. During the Pleistocene epoch, the ancestors of modern blue whales already swam the seas. They were enormous. They rivaled anything that had come before, and yet they still faced challenges. Predators roamed the oceans. Orcas hunted in pods. Sharks grew to monstrous sizes. Megalodon was one of the greatest, a shark more than 15 meters long. Its jaws could crush bones. It may have preyed on young whales. Fossils of whale bones with tooth marks suggest encounters. Battles between giant sharks and whales shook the ancient seas. The blue whale line survived. It endured. It grew even larger. The reason for gigantism is still studied. One idea is that larger whales could store more energy. They could survive long migrations between feeding grounds and breeding grounds. They could dive deeper. They could access more food. Another idea is that larger size offered protection from predators. Megalodon may have attacked smaller whales, but even the largest shark could not easily face a 30-meter colossus. Size was safety. The fossil record shows that whale size increased dramatically in the last 3 million years. Before then, whales were large, but not colossal. Something changed. Ocean circulation intensified. Nutrient cycles grew stronger. Krill populations exploded. The stage was set. The baleen whales seized the opportunity. They grew to sizes never seen before. The blue whale became the pinnacle. Other ancient giants swam alongside them. Sperm whales evolved massive heads filled with spermaceti oil. They dove to extreme depths to hunt giant squid. These hunts were battles in the dark. Squid with tentacles long as men, whales with jaws like battering rams. The ocean was a theater of giants, but none matched the filter feeders for scale. The strategy of swallowing tiny prey by the millions allowed them to grow without limit. It was not about teeth. It was about efficiency. It was about abundance. The ocean's smallest creatures feeding the ocean's largest dot. Legends of sea monsters may reflect ancient encounters. Sailors told of beings larger than ships, backs rising like islands, eyes watching from the deep. Perhaps they saw right whales. Perhaps they saw fin whales. Perhaps on rare occasions they glimpsed the true Colossus. In the days before science, the giant was mystery. It was myth. Now we know the truth, and the truth is greater than the legend. Consider the comparison with land animals. The largest land mammal today is the African elephant. It can weigh up to 6 tons. Impressive on land, but the blue whale weighs more than 20 times that. Land has limits. Gravity restricts size. The ocean does not. Buoyancy allows bodies to grow beyond imagination. The whale is proof of what water can create. The ancestors of whales remind us that size is not sudden. It is the result of millions of years, each adaptation building on the last, each generation carrying the changes of the one before, until one day a creature longer than a basketball court swims before us, until one day the silent Colossus rises from the deep dot. Today, when we watch a blue whale surface, we are looking at the end of a journey that began 50 million years ago. From Prehistoric, walking on riverbanks, to Ambulocetus, hunting in shallow waters, to Basilosaurus ruling ancient seas, to Dorodon, gliding like a modern whale, to baleen ancestors feeding on plankton, to the giants of the Miocene, and finally to the blue whale, the largest animal ever to live. The story of these ancient giants is written in stone. Fossils buried in cliffs, skeletons uncovered in deserts that were once oceans. Each bone a fragment of history, each discovery a whisper from the past. Together they tell us of a lineage that left the land, that embraced the sea, that grew beyond imagination. When paleontologists dig, they find vertebrae the size of plates, skulls longer than men, teeth like daggers. They clean them, they study them, they piece them together. Slowly the giants rise again, not in flesh, but in knowledge. We see them as they once were. We place them in the timeline of life. We understand our world more deeply. The ancient seas were filled with life. Coral reefs shimmered with color. Shoals of fish flashed like silver clouds. Sharks patrolled the depths, and among them swam the giants, the great ancestors of modern whales. Their presence shaped the balance of the ecosystem. Their movements stirred the waters. Their feeding drove cycles of nutrients. They were more than animals. They were architects of the sea. Over millions of years, these giants left behind bones that became fossils. In deserts, we find their remains, for ancient seas once covered those lands. In cliffs, we see their vertebrae. In river valleys, we uncover their skulls. Each fossil is a window to a vanished world. When we look at them, we see time itself. We see the story of evolution written in stone. The path from land mammal to blue whale is one of the greatest transformations in the history of life. From legs to flippers, from nostrils to blood, from teeth to baleen, each change small in its moment, but immense in the span of ages. This transformation created creatures that defy imagination. It created the largest animal ever to live. The role of giants in the ocean is more than their size. They connect past and present. They link ancient seas with modern waters. They remind us that life adapts. Life transforms. Life endures. When climates shift, when continents move, when oceans change, still the giants find a way. Still they rise. Still they sing. Imagine being a traveler in deep time, standing on a shore 30 million years ago, watching Basilosaurus twist through the water, long and serpent-like. Imagine standing 10 million years ago, seeing baleen ancestors rise to breathe, their mouths wide, their throats expanded, their bodies already immense. Imagine the present, a blue whale surfacing in the dawn, its blow rising like a fountain, its back rolling like a mountain, its fluke disappearing into the deep. One story, one lineage, millions of years in the making. The Silent Colossus of today is the heir of all these ancestors: Pachyscetus, Ambulocetus, Rhodhocetus, Basilosaurus, Dorudon, Lanocetus. Each one a chapter, each one a step. Together they formed the path. Together they created the giant we know. The whale carries their legacy in its body, in its blood, in its song. As we drift into sleep, we can imagine swimming through the ages, past the rivers of the Eocene, past the serpent seas of the Oligocene, past the blooms of the Miocene, past the hunts of the Pliocene, until we arrive at the present. Beside the blue whale, the greatest of them all, the Silent Colossus, the ruler of the sea. Close your eyes and picture the endless line of giants, each one fading into the next, each one larger, stronger, more adapted to the ocean, until the line ends in the whale that swims today. Gentle, enormous, eternal, the ancient giants of the seas live on in it. In every breath, in every dive, in every song, and as you listen to this story, you are carried with them. Through time, through water, through silence, into rest, into dreams. The giants guide you. The ocean holds you. The Colossus leads you deeper and deeper into sleep. The blue whale is a creature beyond imagination. Its scale is unmatched. Its form is majestic. It is a living paradox, immense in size, gentle in nature, silent in its movements, yet thunderous in its breath. It is the embodiment of the ocean's mystery. A full-grown blue whale can reach 30 meters in length. That is longer than a basketball court. That is longer than most trains. Imagine standing at one end and trying to see the other. The body stretches beyond your vision. The mass is overwhelming. When a whale surfaces beside a ship, the comparison is humbling. The ship is human creation. The whale is nature's masterpiece. One is steel. The other is flesh. Yet the whale dwarfs our sense of scale. The weight of a blue whale can exceed 170 tons. That is more than a fully loaded Boeing 747 jet. Imagine lifting such mass. Imagine supporting it. On land, it would collapse. Bones would break. Muscles would tear, but in the water it floats. The ocean carries the weight. The sea allows the impossible. It allows life to grow beyond the limits of gravity. The heart of the blue whale is enormous, weighing more than 400 kilograms, beating with slow, steady rhythm, about 8 to 10 beats per minute when resting, each beat pumping liters of blood through veins as wide as human arms. Imagine swimming through a vessel that could carry you inside. That is the scale of the whale's body. The heart echoes like a drum, slow, powerful, eternal. Its lungs are vast. With each breath, the whale inhales thousands of liters of air. Then it dives down into the blue, holding its breath for half an hour, sometimes longer. During the dive, the oxygen stored in its muscles sustains it. The dive is silent, steady, controlled. Then it rises again, breaking the surface with force, the blow shooting high into the air. A fountain of life, a signal to the world. The tongue of the whale is heavier than an elephant. Its mouth can hold enough food and water to fill a swimming pool, and yet it feeds on creatures smaller than a fingernail. Tiny krill, swarms of them, billions upon billions. Each gulp filters them through baleen plates. The water flows out. The krill remain, swallowed in masses. During feeding season, a blue whale consumes up to 4 tons of krill per day. 4 million small lives, sustaining one giant. Its skeleton is a framework of power. Vertebrae like massive discs. Ribs arching like beams of a cathedral. The skull stretching longer than a car. When assembled in museums, these bones tower over visitors. People stand small beneath the structure. They look upward. They feel awe. They feel humility. For, in the presence of the whale's remains, we understand our own smallness. The flippers of the whale are strong and graceful, each about 4 meters long. They steer the body. They stabilize the movement. The fluke, the great tail, is the engine. One downward stroke propels the whale forward with immense power. The body surges through the water, and yet the motion is fluid, effortless. The Colossus glides with elegance that belies its size. Its eyes are small compared to its body, about the size of a grapefruit, yet within them lies perception shaped by millions of years. They see the light fading as the whale dives deeper. They see the glimmer of fish. They see the shimmer of the surface. They have watched endless horizons. They have witnessed generations of life in the sea. They carry memories older than human civilizations. The skin is mottled blue-gray, covered with patterns unique to each individual. Some with scars from battles, some with white patches from barnacles. Each whale carries its history written on its body. Each mark a story. Each scar a memory. To identify whales, scientists photograph these patterns. Catalogues of giants. Each one known. Each one recorded. When a whale swims near the surface, its shadow stretches beneath it. A moving mountain in the sea. From above, it looks like an island drifting slowly. From below, it looks like the sky darkening. Other creatures give way. Fish scatter. Smaller whales move aside. Even predators, like sharks, yield. For the Silent Colossus commands the waters without violence. Its size alone is authority. Despite its bulk, the whale is not clumsy. It turns with grace. It dives with precision. It rises with rhythm. Everything about its movement is calm, purposeful, efficient. There is no waste. Evolution has shaped it into perfection. a creature tuned to the ocean. A body designed for the sea. Comparisons help us understand, but they also fail. A whale is heavier than 50 cars, longer than a small plane, larger than any dinosaur. But numbers cannot capture presence. To see one rise from the deep is to feel the weight of nature itself. To hear the blow is to feel life on a planetary scale. To watch the fluke disappear is to feel eternity. For all its scale, the whale is fragile. It depends on food smaller than rice grains. It depends on oceans balanced and rich. It depends on currents that bring nutrients. Its life is tied to the health of the sea. When the ocean suffers, the whale suffers. Its body may be enormous, but its survival is delicate. It is a giant built on the smallest foundations. When night falls, the whale continues its journey. Guided by instincts older than humanity, it swims through darkness, its heart beating slowly, its body gliding silently. The stars above mirror the plankton glowing below. Bioluminescent sparks flash as it moves. The giant carries the night with it, calm, eternal, peaceful. The daily life of a blue whale follows a rhythm shaped by survival. Feeding dominates the summer months. In cold polar waters, plankton blooms. Krill gather in vast swarms. The whale spends hours diving, rising, diving again. Each gulp enormous, each meal sustaining. For tons per day, this is the season of abundance. The season of growth. When winter approaches, the whale begins its migration. Thousands of kilometers south, toward warmer waters. There it breeds. Their calves are born. During this time, feeding slows. The mother gives birth to a calf already 7 meters long, already weighing several tons. For months she nurses it, providing milk rich in fat. The calf grows rapidly, each day gaining weight, each day growing stronger. By the time the calf is ready to travel, it is larger than most creatures on Earth. The relationship between mother and calf is tender. The mother guides the calf with gentle nudges. The calf follows her shadow, learns her rhythm, imitates her dives, listens to her calls. Together they travel. Together they survive. The bond is unbroken until the calf matures, until it can follow the migrations on its own. This bond is one of the most touching sights in nature. A giant nurturing a giant. The communication of blue whales is remarkable. They produce calls among the lowest frequencies of any animal, some as low as 10 hertz. Too low for human ears. But in water these sounds travel immense distances, across entire oceans. One whale can call. Another can answer hundreds of kilometers away. The ocean becomes a web of voices, a network of giants speaking in the dark. Scientists believe these calls serve many purposes: navigation, social, interaction, mating, perhaps even sharing information about food. Whatever the details, the effect is profound. The largest animal speaks with the deepest voice. Imagine lying in the dark water, feeling vibrations pass through your body, a voice from far away, slow, deep, endless. That is the soundscape of the whales. They live in a world of echoes, a world of resonance, where voices stretch beyond horizons, where songs fill the sea like wind fills the sky. The senses of the whale extend beyond hearing. They feel pressure changes. They detect vibrations. Their bodies are tuned instruments of perception. While their vision is limited, their awareness is vast. The ocean communicates in many ways, and the whale listens to all of them. When scientists first recorded whale songs, they were astonished. The power, the range, the beauty. These were not random noises. They were structured. They had patterns. They repeated. They evolved over time. The songs changed across seasons, across generations. They spread among populations. Some compared them to culture. The passing of traditions and sound. The body of the whale reflects balance. Blubber for insulation, baleen for feeding, lungs for diving, a heart for power, flukes for movement, each part perfected, each part essential. Together they create harmony. Together they create a being unlike any other. Despite their size, blue whales are capable of surprising speed. In moments of urgency, they surge forward. Water churns behind them. Their flukes drive them ahead. Even ships cannot always match their bursts. They are not predators, but they are not defenseless. Their mass is strength. Their endurance is unmatched. They can cross oceans in weeks, guided by inner maps older than memory. Humans have tried to measure whales. We compare them to our machines. 2 airplanes, 2 submarines, 2 skyscrapers. Yet the comparison feels empty. The whale is alive. It grows. It breathes. It sings. Machines do not. The whale carries history in its blood. It carries evolution in its bones. It carries the ocean in its being. To see one is to feel awe. To hear one is to feel wonder. To imagine one is to feel humbled. They are not just animals. They are living monuments. They are reminders of the scale of life. They show us that Earth holds mysteries greater than we often remember. As night deepens, the whale continues its path. The stars above wheel across the sky. The sea below stretches endless. The giant moves with calm purpose. Its breath breaks the silence. Its shadow glides beneath the waves. Its presence is both immense and serene. It is the ocean given form. The scale of the blue whale defies imagination, yet its body is also fragile. It carries scars from collisions with ships, from entanglements in nets, from encounters with orcas. Its skin holds the marks of survival, each scar a reminder of challenges faced, each scar a story written on the flesh of a giant. Yet despite these trials, it continues. It endures. It remains the colossus of the sea. Inside its body organs work in harmony. The stomach has multiple chambers, each designed to process vast quantities of krill. Digestion fuels the muscles. Energy drives the migration. The cycle of life continues. In the bloodstream, oxygen flows, carried with efficiency. Every system of the whale optimized for scale. Nothing wasted. Everything necessary. Its brain is immense, weighing more than 6 kilograms, larger than any land animal. Within this brain lies intelligence shaped by the ocean, complex communication, memory of migration routes, awareness of the whale is not only massive in body, it is massive in mind, a quiet intelligence guiding its endless journey. When it rests, it does not sleep like humans. It shuts down half its brain at a time. One side sleeps, the other remains alert. This way the whale continues to breathe, continues to surface, continues to survive. Rest in motion, sleep in vigilance. Even in slumber, the giant remains connected to the ocean. The physiology of the whale fascinates scientists. Its blood carries special proteins that store oxygen, allowing long dives. Its muscles resist fatigue. Its body temperature remains stable in freezing seas. Each adaptation a marvel, each trait a solution. Millions of years of evolution refined into perfection. Imagine standing beside a whale on land. Imagine its body stretched longer than your sight. Imagine its heart beating beside you. Imagine its breath washing over you. The comparison is overwhelming. You feel small, yet you feel connected. For despite the difference, we share kinship. Both mammal, both born alive, both nursing young. The whale is distant, yet the whale is also kin. Legends call it a monster. Myths call it Leviathan, but the truth is gentler. It is no monster. It is a guardian of balance. It is a gardener of the sea. It fertilizes plankton with its waste. It supports food webs. It creates abundance through its presence. The giant is not destroyer. The giant is creator. When a whale dies, its body becomes a gift. It sinks to the deep. A whale fall. There on the dark ocean floor, its flesh feeds sharks and fish. Its bones feed worms and crabs. Entire ecosystems flourish around it for decades. Even in death, the whale sustains life. The Colossus never ceases to give. Humans watch whales with awe. Whale watching has become a bridge between worlds. People travel far to see the blow, to hear the breath, to glimpse the fluke. They cheer, they cry, they feel wonder. For in the presence of the whale, they feel the vastness of Earth. They feel part of something larger. As you drift deeper into rest, imagine following the whale through calm waters. Imagine its shadow beneath you. Imagine the rhythm of its heart guiding yours. Imagine the sound of its song vibrating through the deep. You are carried. You are safe. You are part of its journey. The creature beyond imagination continues. Through night and day, through season and tide, through history and time, it swims, it sings, it survives. It is the giant of the sea, the colossus of our world, the embodiment of wonder. Close your eyes. Let the image remain. A vast body gliding through endless blue, a gentle breath rising like thunder, a song echoing across oceans. This is the blue whale, a creature beyond imagination. The life of the blue whale revolves around food. Its size demands it. Its survival depends on it. The ocean provides, the whale consumes. This endless cycle defines the existence of the largest animal on Earth. A blue whale eats almost nothing but krill, tiny shrimp-like creatures no longer than a finger, each one fragile, each one delicate. Alone they are insignificant. Together they form swarms that stretch for kilometers, clouds of life drifting through the sea, billions upon billions. A feast for giants. When a whale feeds, it opens its mouth wide, very wide. Its lower jaw expands like a gate. The pleated grooves along its throat stretch outward. The mouth engulfs a volume of water greater than its own body size. Tens of thousands of liters in a single gulp. Within that water drift thousands of krill. The whale closes its mouth. Its tongue rises. The water is pushed out through baleen plates. These plates are made of keratin, the same substance as human fingernails. Dozens of them hang like curtains from the upper jaw. They act as a sieve. Water flows out. Krill remain trapped. Then the whale swallows. One gulp, then another. Again and again. During feeding season in polar waters, a blue whale consumes up to 4 tons of krill every day. That is more than 4 million individuals. 4 million tiny lives sustaining one giant. Each gulp may capture thousands. Each dive may provide hundreds of kilograms. Over weeks and months, the whale builds energy. It stores fat. It prepares for migration. It prepares for breeding. Its survival rests on abundance. KRILL, abundant, because the ocean is alive. Cold currents rise from the depths. They bring nutrients. Phytoplankton bloom in sunlight. These microscopic plants form the base of the food chain. Krill feed on them. They gather in vast swarms, and the whales follow, from Antarctica to the Arctic, from pole to pole. The whale follows the feast. Scientists have studied the efficiency of feeding. One gulp may bring 2 tons of water. Filtering takes seconds. The yield is high. The design is perfect. The whale is an engineer of the sea. Every part of its body built to maximize feeding. Its pleats, its tongue, its baleen, its muscles, all working in harmony. The image of the largest animal feeding on some of the smallest is humbling. It reminds us of balance. It reminds us that greatness depends on smallness. Without krill, there is no whale. Without plankton, there is no krill. Without sunlight, there is no plankton. The chain is fragile. The chain is beautiful. It connects the cosmos to the Colossus. Feeding dives are rhythmic. The whale descends. Mouth opens. Water and krill engulfed. Mouth closes. Water forced out. Krill swallowed. Then it rises. Breath at the surface. Mist in the air. Then it dives again. Over and over. The rhythm is hypnotic. The rhythm is eternal. The rhythm is the heartbeat of the ocean. The energy demands are staggering. To fuel a body of 170 tons requires constant intake. The blubber stores it. Thick layers beneath the skin. Insulation for cold. Energy for journeys. Without feeding, the whale weakens. Without krill, the whale vanishes. This dependence shapes its life. It follows the food wherever it leads. Across thousands of kilometers. Across entire oceans. Whale feeding also shapes the ocean itself. When whales defecate at the surface, their waste is rich in iron and nutrients. These fertilize plankton. Plankton grow. Krill feed. Whales feed again. A cycle of life sustained by the whale. The Colossus is not only consumer, it is also creator. It enriches the ocean as it feeds. It ensures abundance for the future. The endless feast is seasonal. In summer, the whale gorges. In winter, it fasts. During migration, it eats little. It relies on stored fat. Mothers nursing calves rely entirely on reserves. They give of themselves. They sacrifice their energy. They ensure the survival of the next generation. The feast of summer sustains the famine of winter. This balance defines their existence. At night, krill rise to the surface, the largest migration on Earth. Billions of small bodies moving upward in the dark, following the moonlight, following instincts. The whales rise too. They meet the swarm. They open their mouths. They feed beneath the stars. Bioluminescent plankton glow around them. A light show in the deep. a feast painted with sparks. The hunting of the blue whale is not a chase. It is not pursuit. It is patience. It is timing. The whale finds the swarm. It positions itself. It lunges. The mouth opens. The throat expands. Water and krill pour inside. The baleen filters. The krill remain. The whale swallows. This is not violence. This is design. A perfect adaptation to endless abundance. Each feeding dive is a dance between predator and prey. The krill scatter, but they cannot escape. The mouth is too wide, the body too fast. In one moment, thousands are engulfed. The whale turns. It prepares again. Another dive, another gulp. The ocean is generous. The giant accepts the gift. Scientists have measured the efficiency of this method. One lunge may consume 200 kilograms of krill. One dive may bring 1,000. Over hours the total rises. By the end of the day, tons have been consumed. This efficiency explains size. Only such a strategy could support such a body. Only the smallest prey could sustain the largest predator. Feeding grounds are sacred to the whale. The Antarctic waters teem with krill. Cold currents fuel plankton blooms. Krill swarm in billions. Here whales gather. They spread across the Southern Ocean, each one feasting, each one building strength. These waters are the banquet hall of the giants. Without them, the whales could not survive. The migration from feeding grounds to breeding grounds is long. Thousands of kilometers. During this journey, whales eat little. They rely on stored energy. The blubber becomes thinner, the body lighter. By the time they reach the tropics, the reserves are nearly spent. But calves are born. Life continues. The sacrifice is worth it. Then, when the season turns, they return south. Once more to the feast. Once more to abundance. The cycle is eternal. Feast and famine. Abundance and scarcity. Each year repeated. Each year survived. The whale embodies patience. It accepts plenty when it comes. It endures hunger when it must. Its body is built for extremes. It thrives in both. Krill themselves are extraordinary, tiny yet vital. They are translucent. Their bodies glow faintly in the dark. They swim in coordinated swarms. They feed on phytoplankton. They convert sunlight into life. Without them, the oceans would collapse. Without them, the giants would fall. The smallest sustains the largest. This paradox defines the ocean. Imagine drifting in the dark sea at night. Around you, billions of krill shimmer with faint light. Then from the shadows, the whale emerges. Its mouth opens. The swarm scatters, but thousands remain trapped. The whale closes its jaws. Water pours out. Krill remain. The feast continues. You watch in silence. You feel the rhythm. You feel the balance. The whale's body is tuned to conserve energy while feeding. The pleats of its throat expand like bellows, elastic and strong. The tongue presses water against baleen. The krill are scraped free, swallowed whole. The efficiency is near perfect. No teeth needed. No chase required. Only rhythm. Only patience. Only the endless feast. Even as they feed the whales, serve the ecosystem. Their movements stir nutrients. Their waste fertilizes plankton. Their presence enriches the sea. They are not just consumers, they are gardeners, farmers of the ocean. Their feeding sustains the abundance they depend on. They are part of a circle larger than themselves. For millions of years, this strategy has worked. From the Miocene to today, the whales have followed the feast. They have grown. They have thrived. They have endured, even when hunted by humans, even when reduced to a fraction of their numbers. They survived because the ocean still offered food. They survived because the feast never ended. As you listen, you can imagine this cycle: the whale diving, the mouth opening, the water rushing, the krill remaining, the swallow, the rise to breathe, the blow in the night, then the dive again, over and over, like the beating of a drum, like the rhythm of a lullaby. This is the song of the feast. This is the life of the giant. The endless feast is not only about survival, it is about connection. The whale connects the surface and the deep. It dives into darkness. It rises into light. It carries nutrients from one realm to another. Every breath, every dive, every meal, the ocean is changed by its presence. In polar waters, the feast is a spectacle. Imagine standing on the deck of a ship in the cold southern seas. The horizon stretches white and blue. Icebergs drift. The air is crisp. Then you see the spout, a column of mist against the sky. Then the back, rolling. Endless, the fluke rises. The dive begins. Moments later, the whale lunges through a swarm of krill. Its mouth opens wider than a room. Water and prey pour inside. The power is silent. The grace immense. You witness the banquet of a giant dot. Other creatures share these waters. Penguins dive through the swarms. Seals dart among them. Fish rise to feed. Birds circle above. All take part in the feast. The ocean provides for many, yet the whale takes more than all others combined. Its demand is vast, its hunger endless, but the ocean is generous. For now the krill are abundant. For now the cycle continues. In the tropics feeding slows. The waters are poorer. The whales rely on what they stored. Mothers nurse their calves. The calves grow on milk thicker than cream, rich with fat, designed to fuel rapid growth, designed to create another giant. The feast of the mother becomes the strength of the child. The cycle of generations repeats. The endurance of the blue whale is astonishing. It can travel thousands of kilometers without feeding heavily. It can survive on reserves for months. It can give birth. It can nurse. All because of the feast it took in summer. Every gulp in polar waters is an investment. Every dive a deposit. The body is a bank of energy, withdrawn in winter. Restored in summer, the balance of feast and famine is delicate. Climate change threatens it. Warming seas reduce krill populations. Melting ice changes ecosystems. Human fishing takes its share. The giants feel the loss. Their bodies thin. Their migrations alter. Their numbers struggle. The feast grows uncertain. The future less secure, yet hope remains. Protected areas safeguard feeding grounds. Regulations limit hunting. Awareness spreads. The sight of a whale spouting mist in the polar dawn inspires action. People protect what they love. The feast must continue. The ocean must remain abundant, for without krill the giants vanish. And without giants, the ocean changes forever. The image of the largest animal feeding on the smallest is powerful. It speaks of humility. It speaks of connection. It reminds us that greatness is built on the tiny, that survival is balance, that all life is linked, from sunlight to plankton, from krill to whale, from ocean to human. We are all part of the feast. As you drift deeper into rest, imagine the rhythm of the whales feeding, the mouth opening, the water rushing, the krill swirling, the baleen filtering, the swallow, the rise to breathe, the blow of mist, then the dive again, over and over, the cycle endless, the rhythm eternal. It is the heartbeat of the sea. It is the lullaby of the giant. The ocean's endless feast continues, night after night, season after season, year after year. The giant feeds, the giant endures, the giant survives. Close your eyes, feel the calm, hear the breath, imagine the feast. Imagine the giant drifting beside you, safe, eternal, gentle. You are part of the rhythm. You are part of the feast. The ocean holds you. The Colossus guides you. You drift deeper and deeper, into dreams, into sleep. The blue whale roams the world. No ocean is too vast, no sea too distant. From the Arctic to the Antarctic, the giant travels. It is a citizen of the planet. It knows no borders. It belongs to the earth. Blue whales live in every major ocean. They are found in the North Atlantic, the North Pacific, the Southern Ocean around Antarctica, the Indian Ocean, even in parts of the Mediterranean Sea. Their distribution is vast, but their numbers are scattered. They move with the seasons. They follow the food. They follow ancient routes written in instinct. In summer, they feed in polar waters. The Arctic offers abundance. Cold currents bring nutrients. Plankton bloom. Krill swarm. The giants gather. They gorge. They build fat. They prepare. In the Antarctic, the scene is the same. Endless days of light fuel the ocean. Krill rise in billions. The whales consume tons each day. The poles are their banquet halls. When winter comes, they leave. The ice spreads. The cold deepens. Food becomes scarce. The whales begin their migrations, thousands of kilometers southward, toward tropical and subtropical seas. Here the waters are warmer, safer for calves. Mothers give birth. Calves drink rich milk. Life continues. The cycle is eternal. The migrations are among the longest of any mammal. Some travel more than 10,000 kilometers, from feeding grounds near Antarctica to breeding grounds near South America, from the Arctic to the equator. These journeys are guided by instinct. They follow paths older than human history. They follow routes written in their blood. In the North Atlantic, blue whales are seen off the coasts of Iceland, Norway, Newfoundland. They travel through cold waters rich in life. In the North Pacific, they are found off California, Mexico, Japan, Russia. They cross vast distances, sometimes solitary, sometimes in pairs, rarely in groups. They are travelers of solitude, but they are never truly alone, for the ocean is their companion. In the southern hemisphere, they gather in great numbers near Antarctica. These waters once held the greatest populations. Here whalers hunted them relentlessly. Here the silence of harpoons nearly ended them, yet still they return. They feed in the cold seas. They sing in the icy depths. They endure. The Indian Ocean also holds blue whales. Populations travel between Sri Lanka and the Arabian Sea. Their calls echo across tropical waters. They adapt to monsoon cycles, to currents shifting with the seasons. These whales remind us that giants can live not only in polar extremes, but also in equatorial seas. The Mediterranean once held blue whales too. Today's sightings are rare, but the sea still remembers. Fossils, stories, legends, the traces of giants linger. Even in enclosed seas the whales once roamed. Everywhere they go, they leave impressions. Fishermen who see the spout rising, sailors who hear the blow in the dark, travelers who glimpse the fluke disappearing. Each memory carried forward, each story told. The giant leaves marks not only in the ocean but in human imagination. When scientists track whales, they use satellite tags. These devices show lines stretching across maps, lines that cross entire oceans, lines that connect poles to tropics. Each line a life, each migration a testament to endurance. The maps show a planet tied together by whale paths, invisible highways of the sea. Imagine following one whale. In summer it feeds in the icy waters near Antarctica. Day after day it gorges. Krill swarms shimmer like clouds. The whale dives. The whale lunges. It grows heavy with fat. Then, as winter nears, it begins its journey. Northward, across thousands of kilometers. Weeks pass. The ocean stretches endless. Storms rise. Waves crash. Yet the whale continues, calm, steady, guided by instinct. Finally, it reaches warmer seas near South America. Here it rests. Here it breeds. Here a calf may be born. The cycle complete, the migration fulfilled. Then, when summer returns, it heads south again, back to the feast, back to the ice. The scale of these journeys is staggering. Imagine walking from one continent to another. Imagine never stopping. Imagine traveling month after month. That is the life of the whale. A life of motion. A life of distance. A life of endurance. For humans, the sight of a whale on migration is a gift. Along coasts where routes pass, people gather. Whale watchers with binoculars, scientists with hydrophones, fishermen with memories. They look, they listen, they wait, and when the spout rises, they cheer. When the back rolls, they gasp. When the fluke disappears, they fall silent, for they have glimpsed the traveler, the citizen of the world, the colossus of the sea. The habitats of the blue whale are defined by abundance. Where food gathers, the whales follow. Where currents rise, they appear. The distribution of krill shapes the distribution of whales. This connection is absolute. It is the law of their existence. In the North Pacific, some whales migrate along the coast of California. In summer they feed in the rich waters of Monterey Bay. Cold currents rise from the deep. Plankton bloom. Krill swarm. The whales lunge through the swarms. Tourists gather on boats to watch. They see the spout rise in the distance. They see the giant roll. They see the fluke lift. For a moment they share the ocean with the largest animal that has ever lived. Other populations travel across the Indian Ocean. Off the coast of Sri Lanka they can be seen. Their calls echo beneath the waves. Their presence marks the ocean with calm. These tropical whales do not migrate as far as their polar cousins. They live in warm waters year-round. They adapt to local abundance. They remind us that even within one species, there is variety. There is flexibility. In the Atlantic, the whales cross between Iceland and the Azores. They pass along routes known to sailors for centuries. Old journals describe sightings. Old maps mark spouts. The whales have been companions to humans for as long as we have traveled the seas. Their paths and ours overlap. Their migrations are written into our history. The Southern Ocean remains the stronghold. Around Antarctica, the giants gather. The abundance is unmatched. The productivity of these waters sustains life on an immense scale. Whales, seals, penguins, birds, fish, all feed here. But the whale is supreme. It consumes more than all others. It dominates the cycle. Its presence is the heartbeat of the Southern Ocean. Migration is not always predictable. Some whales wander far beyond expected routes. One tagged individual crossed from the Pacific to the Atlantic through the Arctic. Another traveled more than 16,000 kilometers in a single season. These journeys astonish scientists. They show us that whales are explorers as well as travelers. They remind us that the ocean is one, not separate basins, but one world. Storms do not stop them. Ice does not stop them. The vast distances do not stop them. They swim day after day, night after night, guided by memory, guided by instinct. Their flukes beat steady, their breaths rise rhythmic. They endure. They persist. They roam for calves. These migrations are their first great test. Born in warm waters, they must follow their mothers north or south. They must travel thousands of kilometers before they are even a year old. They must learn to dive, to breathe, to swim long distances. Many do not survive, but those that do carry the memory. They carry the path. They carry the lineage forward. When humans study these migrations, they find patterns older than civilization. Routes shaped by ice ages, by currents, by the tilt of the planet. The whales follow paths carved by Earth itself. They are not just animals moving. They are expressions of the planet's rhythms. Their journeys mirror the turning of the Earth. At night, migrations are silent. The sea dark, the stars above. The whale rises to breathe. The mist drifts in moonlight. Then it dives again, northward, southward, always moving, always traveling. The endless highways of the sea stretch before it. The giant follows, steady, calm, eternal. The roaming of the blue whale is a story of endurance. Each year it repeats. Each year it continues. The whale moves between worlds, from ice to tropics, from feast to famine, from solitude to companionship. It carries the ocean in its path. Humans who witness these journeys feel wonder. On the coast of Baja California, mothers and calves are seen in lagoons. Calm waters, warm sun, gentle tides. Here the young take their first breaths. Here the mothers guide them. Tourists watch from small boats. They see the calf surface beside its mother. They see the blow rise. They see the giant fluke. The moment is unforgettable. The moment is timeless. In the North Atlantic, sailors once feared these shadows. Stories of sea serpents may have begun with whales. The sight of a massive back breaking the surface, the sudden rise of mist, the endless length rolling forward. To those without knowledge, it was a monster. To those with wisdom, it was a wonder. The myths grew. The reality remained. The giant was always there. Today's science replaces myth, but the awe is unchanged. Satellite maps show lines across the globe. Each line the track of a whale, each point a dive, each movement recorded. The migrations become visible. We see the scope. We see the scale. The largest animal crossing the largest distances. The ocean revealed as a single highway, a single home. The effect of these migrations on ecosystems is immense. Whales carry nutrients from feeding grounds to breeding grounds. They fertilize plankton. They influence fish populations. Their movements sustain life across basins. They are not just passengers of the sea. They are engineers. They are shapers. They are guardians. When a whale surfaces in distant waters, it reminds us of connection. The spout rising near a tropical island is the same whale that fed near Antarctica. The same breath that once misted icy air now rises in the tropics. The same song that once echoed in polar night now vibrates beneath equatorial stars. The journey unites the planet. The whale is the thread. The future of migrations depends on the ocean's health. Climate change threatens ice. Warming seas threaten krill. Noise pollution disrupts communication. Ships cross migration routes. Strikes injure whales. Entanglements kill them. Yet they continue. They endure. They roam. The instinct is stronger than the obstacles. The path is older than the threats. The giants keep moving. Imagine yourself drifting alongside a whale on its journey. You rise when it rises. You dive when it dives. You hear the blow. You feel the silence of the deep. Day turns to night. Night turns to day. Still the journey continues. Still the flukes beat. Still the ocean rolls. The migration never ends. The rhythm never stops. As sleep takes you, the whale moves onward. Through calm seas. Through storms. Through light. Through dark. Always forward. Always steady. Always roaming. The giant carries you with it. Into rest. Into peace. Into dreams. The ocean is a world of sound. Light fades quickly beneath the waves. Darkness rules the depths. But sound travels. It carries far. It lasts long. For whales sound is life. For whales sound is connection. For whales sound is song. The blue whale is the loudest animal on earth. Its calls reach levels of more than 180 decibels, louder than a jet engine. Yet these sounds are not screams. They are deep. They are low. They are powerful vibrations that roll through water like thunder through air. Most of these calls are below the range of human hearing. 10 hertz, 15 hertz, too deep for our ears. But the ocean carries them across hundreds of kilometers. One whale can speak to another across an entire basin. The sea becomes a network of voices. The sea becomes alive with conversation. The purpose of these songs is varied. Some are for mating, males calling to females, advertising their strength, their health, their endurance. Some are for navigation, calls bouncing off underwater features, guiding whales through dark seas. Some are for communication, one whale signaling to another, a mother to her calf, a companion to another traveler. The rhythm of whale songs is mesmerizing. Long notes stretched over minutes, Deep pulses repeated again and again. Patterns that shift over time. Scientists record these songs with hydrophones. They analyze the frequencies. They find structure. They find repetition. These are not random sounds. They are music of survival. Whale songs can last for hours. Sometimes entire populations share a song. The melody changes slowly over years. New patterns appear. Old ones fade. The songs evolve. The songs spread. It is as if whales share culture. Traditions carried not by words, but by sound. Imagine drifting in the dark ocean. The water around you silent. Then a deep vibration passes through. Your body feels it. Your bones resonate. It is not just heard. It is experienced. A whale song has reached you. From far away, from a giant you cannot see, yet you feel its presence. You are connected. The songs of blue whales are among the lowest of all whales. They can last for 20 seconds or more. They repeat every minute. A slow beat, a steady rhythm, like the pulse of the planet, like the ticking of time. Hearing such a call is like listening to the earth breathe. Scientists use these calls to track whales. Hydrophone networks pick up signals across oceans, from the Arctic to the Antarctic, from the Pacific to the Atlantic. Whales reveal their presence through song. Populations can be estimated, migrations mapped, behaviors studied. The songs are windows into their hidden world. Yet despite our studies, much remains unknown. Why songs change, why some whales sing and others remain silent, whether calls carry individual identity, whether they carry emotion, these mysteries remain. The ocean keeps its secrets. The whales keep their voices. We only listen at the edge. The power of song is also emotional. Those who hear recordings describe feelings of awe, of calm, of sadness. The tones resonate in the human heart. They stir something deep, perhaps because they remind us of ancient connections. We too are mammals. We too use sound to bond. The whale's voice echoes across species. Across time, as night falls in the ocean, the songs continue. In the dark, the calls roll. In the silence, the vibrations spread. Miles away, another whale answers. The dialogue of giants unfolds. Patient, endless, eternal. The sea is filled with music. The sea is alive with song. The anatomy of the whale supports this sound. Deep in its throat are massive vocal folds. They vibrate as air passes through. The whale does not use vocal cords like humans. Its system is different. Adapted to water. Adapted to scale. The result is sound of unmatched power. Sound that shakes the sea. When a blue whale sings, the note is not only heard, it is felt. Sound in water travels faster than in air. It travels farther. It carries more energy. A single call can move across hundreds of kilometers. It can pass through layers of the ocean. It can reach another whale beyond the horizon. The sea is the perfect medium for song. In some regions, whales sing in unison, a chorus of giants, each one adding its voice. Together they create resonance. The water vibrates with their presence. Listeners describe it as the ocean humming, a low, continuous vibration, ancient, timeless, alive. Other times a lone male sings, calling again and again, waiting for a response. His song may last hours, days, even weeks. Patient repetition, a message cast into the sea. Somewhere a female may hear, somewhere a companion may answer. The song is hope. The song is persistence. The patterns of whale songs are not fixed. They evolve. In the 1960s, recordings were made of blue whales in the Pacific. The calls were long, low notes. In later decades, the pitch shifted lower. Generation by generation, the songs changed. Why this happens is still a mystery. Some say it reflects changes in the environment. Some say it is cultural drift. Some say it is adaptation. Whatever the reason, the songs are alive. They change as whales change. The cultural nature of song is profound. In some populations, all individuals sing the same pattern. When the song changes, all follow. It spreads like a tradition. It spreads like fashion. One whale invents a new variation. Others adopt it. The ocean becomes a stage for shared performance. The giants compose together. Songs are also tools. They help whales find each other in vast waters. They help them coordinate movements. They help them stay connected across endless distances. In an environment where vision fails, where touch is impossible, sound becomes everything. Song becomes survival. The frequencies used by blue whales are lower than almost any other creature. 10 to 20 hertz. Humans hear from 20 hertz upward. This means much of the song is beyond us. We are deaf to their deepest voices. But the ocean is not. The ocean carries them. Other whales hear. Other whales respond. We only sense fragments. The full symphony is hidden. Imagine floating in the dark with eyes closed. The water pressing against your body. Suddenly, a vibration passes. Deep, slow, endless. You feel it in your bones. You feel it in your chest. You cannot hear it, but you know it is there. That is the voice of the whale. That is the song of the giant. Some scientists compare whale songs to human music, structure, repetition, variation, themes that return, phrases that change. The parallels are striking. Both serve to connect. Both serve to express. Both carry meaning beyond survival. The whale's song may be art as much as function. The ocean may be filled with music older than humanity. At night, these songs create atmosphere. Beneath the stars, the ocean resonates. Long pulses travel unseen. Deep voices echo. The surface glitters with moonlight. Below, the giants sing. The two worlds merge. Sky and sea connected by vibration. The songs of the whale are not only powerful, they are timeless. A call made today may travel for hours before it fades. It moves through layers of water, through darkness, through silence, carrying the presence of the giant far beyond its body. The song is the whale extended. The song is the whale multiplied. In some regions, recordings reveal complex sequences. A low moan followed by a pulse, a pause, then another moan, then a series of beats. This structure repeats again and again. Listeners describe it as hypnotic. Scientists describe it as patterned. Both are correct. It is a rhythm that draws the mind. It is a design that serves survival. Songs differ between oceans. The calls of Pacific whales are not the same as those of the Atlantic. Each population has its own dialect, its own tradition. This difference proves culture, proves learning, proves that whales are not only instinct, they are also memory, they are also community. Young whales learn by listening. They hear the songs of adults. They repeat. They imitate. Slowly they perfect the notes. Slowly they join the chorus. This passing of sound from one generation to the next is heritage. It is language. It is family. Noise from humans now threatens this system. Ships roar. Sonar blasts. Oil exploration thunders. These sounds masked whale calls. They disrupt communication. They confuse navigation. They isolate individuals. The song of the whale struggles against the noise of humanity. Yet still it continues. Yet still the giants sing. To hear a whale song in the wild is rare. To those who do it is unforgettable. Divers describe vibrations moving through their chests. Sailors speak of tones felt more than heard. Scientists play back recordings to the public and audiences fall silent. The sound humbles. The sound soothes. The sound connects. Some describe it as the voice of the earth, itself, deep, ancient, endless. When whales sing, the planet sings. When whales fall silent, the ocean grows emptier. Their voices are part of our world. Their voices are part of our soul. As you rest, you can imagine drifting in their company. The sea dark around you, the stars bright above you, and from below the steady rhythm of song, a vibration moving through the water, a message from giants, a lullaby from the deep. You breathe with it. You drift with it. You fall with it into dreams. The songs of the whale are gifts. They are echoes of survival. They are symphonies of the sea. They are reminders that life is vast, that life is ancient, that life is beautiful. They are the voice of the Colossus. They are the voice of the ocean. Close your eyes. Listen within. Imagine the pulse. Imagine the call. Imagine the endless note. The whale sings. The ocean resonates. You drift deeper and deeper into calm, into peace, into sleep. For as long as humans have sailed the seas, they have told stories of giants. Shadows beneath the waves, spouts rising in the distance, backs rolling like hills, flukes lifting like gates to another world. To early sailors these sights were terrifying. To early sailors these sights were divine. Out of mystery came legend. Out of awe came myth. In ancient texts, the whale appears as Leviathan, a creature of chaos, a beast of the deep. Its body larger than mountains, its breath fiery, its mouth wide enough to swallow ships whole. It was not only an animal, it was a symbol of fear, of power, of the untamed sea. Leviathan became a word for anything beyond control. Yet behind the myth lay reality. Behind the fear lay the truth of the whale. In Norse sagas, sailors told of the half-goof, a sea monster so large it was mistaken for an island. Men would land on its back. They would light fires. They would camp. Then the island would sink, for it was alive. It was a whale. Its mouth so vast it could swallow fish by the shoal. The half-goofer was legend, but it echoes the image of the blue whale rising from the deep. A back like land, a mouth like a cavern. In medieval maps the seas were filled with drawings of monsters. Long bodies, wide mouths, fins like wings, ships dwarfed beside them. These images were warnings. Here be dragons. Here be whales. The unknown waters carried dangers too great to name. Yet sailors still went. And when they saw the spout, when they heard the blow, when they felt the shadow. The legends grew stronger. In Polynesian cultures, whales were seen as guardians, symbols of navigation, guides across endless seas. Stories tell of ancestors led by whales to new islands, to new homes. The songs of whales were voices of gods, the presence of whales blessings from spirits. In these traditions, whales are revered, not as monsters, but as kin. As protectors, native peoples along the coasts of North America carved whales into totems, painted whales into art. Their myths tell of whale spirits that guide hunters, of whale dreams that shape destinies. For those who lived by the sea, the whale was life. Its body provided food. Its presence provided meaning. It was both practical and sacred. Encounters with whales could be peaceful. Sailors watching as a giant surfaced near their ships, the mist rising like smoke, the body rolling beside them, the eye glancing upward, a gaze calm and deep. Those who saw this never forgot it. The size, the serenity, the sense of another world meeting theirs. But encounters could also be violent. In the age of whaling ships pursued giants. Harpoons struck. Blood stained the sea. Battles raged between men and whales. Stories of ships smashed by tails, of men drowned by thrashing bodies. These were legends of war, legends born from human greed. The whale became enemy. The whale became prize. Writers captured these encounters. In the pages of literature, whales became symbols. Herman Melville wrote of Moby Dick, a white whale, a force of nature, a foe beyond comprehension. Captain Ahab pursued it across oceans. The story became myth itself. The whale as obsession, the whale as destiny, the whale as the unreachable. Even today, legends persist. Divers who swim with blue whales speak of awe. They describe feeling as if beside a moving mountain, as if beside a living planet. The eye of the whale meeting theirs, a gaze ancient, a gaze eternal. They return to the surface changed. They tell their stories. The legend continues. Imagine yourself a sailor in the past. Night's dark, stars above, ocean endless. Suddenly a spout rises near your ship, a sound like thunder, then a back rolls beside you, longer than your vessel. The crew gasps. Some pray, some tremble, some stare in silence. You have met a giant. You have met the Silent Colossus. Legends are born from mystery. Encounters are born from reality. The whale is both. It is myth and truth. It is monster and guardian. It is fear and awe. It is Leviathan. It is half goof. It is Moby Dick. It is the blue whale. The legends of whales reflect the human struggle to understand the sea. For early sailors, the ocean was endless. It was darkness and danger. It was mystery. To see a giant rise from that mystery was overwhelming. To explain it, they created stories. The stories became warnings. The stories became myths. In the Bible, the whale appears as the creature that swallowed Jonah. For 3 days and 3 nights, he lived inside. Then he was released. This story shaped centuries of imagination. The whaler's prison. The whale as punishment. The whale as test of faith. In truth, whales do not swallow men. Yet the image persisted. The giant mouth, the cavernous throat, the darkness inside. The myth was powerful. In Islamic tradition, too, there are stories of great fish, tales of prophets swallowed by giants of the sea, lessons of endurance, lessons of patience, the whale as trial, the whale as guide. Across cultures, the image repeats. The whale is always more than animal. It is symbol, it is metaphor, it is story. In Japanese folklore, whales are seen as bringers of fortune. Some villagers believed that when a whale stranded on their shores, it was a gift, food for the community, oil for light, bones for tools, but also a spiritual blessing. Whales became kami, sacred beings, guardians of the coast. Songs and festivals honored them. The presence of a whale was divine. In Inuit culture, whales were vital, bowhead whales especially. Their hunts required courage. Their bodies provided life. Yet they were also spirits. The hunt was sacred. Rituals honored the whale. The people saw themselves as partners, taking but also giving respect. For them, the whale was not monster. The whale was kin. European sailors often feared whales. Tales spread of ships destroyed, of sailors dragged into the deep, of beasts larger than islands. The fear was real, but it was mixed with awe. Many sailors also felt reverence. They described the beauty of the spout, the majesty of the roll, the calmness of the gaze. Their words reached home. Their words spread wonder. When whaling began, myths became blood. Harpoons turned giants into corpses. Ships chased whales across oceans. The legends changed. Now they were tales of conquest, of profit, of danger. Men boasted of battles, of near-death escapes, of whales that fought back. These stories became part of maritime lore. They were written in journals. They were sung in ballads. The whale became part of human economy, part of human survival, but at a cost. Populations collapsed. Giants vanished. Legends turned to silence. Yet even in the darkest times, the legend of the whale never died. Writers kept it alive. Melville with Moby Dick, poets with verses of Leviathan, painters with images of spouts against the horizon. The whale remained in art. The whale remained in mind. The giant could not be erased. In the 20th century, as whaling declined, the legends shifted again. Now the whale became symbol of conservation, of nature's fragility, of beauty that must be saved. Greenpeace made the whale its icon. The image of a blue whale became a call to protect the seas. The legends of fear became legends of hope. The whale became guardian once more. Modern encounters continue the story. Whale watchers speak of tears when they first see a spout. Divers describe awe when they hear a call in the deep. Scientists feel reverence when they tag a giant. The legend evolves, but it always holds the same core. The whale is more than animal. The whale is presence. The whale is symbol. At night, when you imagine yourself at sea, you can feel the weight of these stories. You can feel the fear of sailors. You can feel the reverence of cultures. You can feel the awe of witnesses. The legends surround you. They whisper with the waves. They echo with the songs. They drift with the giants. The encounter between humans and whales is as old as our history on the sea. From the first rafts that drifted beyond the coast to the great ships that crossed oceans, the giant was always there. a shadow beneath the waves, a spout on the horizon, a presence both real and unreal. Many who met the whale described its eye, small compared to its body, yet filled with depth. Sailors spoke of intelligence in that gaze. Divers today still speak of calm. To look into the eye of a whale is to see more than an animal. It is to see age. It is to see patience. It is to see a world older than ours. The legends grew because the reality inspired them. No story can capture the true scale. No drawing can match the presence. Only those who have seen the blow, only those who have heard the breath, only those who have watched the fluke sink into the deep truly understand. That understanding becomes story. That story becomes legend. In some myths, whales carried the world on their backs. In others, they swallowed heroes. In others, they guided travelers. In every version, they were immense. They were powerful. They were sacred. These myths mirror the truth. Whales are immense. Whales are powerful. Whales are sacred to the ocean. Modern science gives us facts. Length in meters, weight in tons, heartbeat in decibels. But facts do not erase legend. They add to it. The more we learn, the more wondrous the whale becomes. The giant is not diminished by knowledge. The giant is magnified. Encounters continue to inspire art. Painters capture the rolling back. Musicians echo the song. Writers describe the journeys. Filmmakers show the dives. The whale remains muse. The whale remains myth. The whale remains legend. When you close your eyes, you can imagine yourself part of this story. A traveler on an ancient ship, a fisherman on a small boat, a diver in the deep, a watcher on a coast. In each role you see the whale. In each role you feel awe. In each role you carry the story forward. The legends and encounters are endless. They stretch across time, across culture, across oceans. They remind us that humanity has always looked outward, always sought meaning in what we could not control. The whale gave us that meaning. The whale gave us that mystery. The whale gave us that legend. And now, as you drift towards sleep, you carry these legends with you. You drift with the sailors who prayed at the sight of Leviathan. You drift with the Polynesians guided by guardians. You drift with the Inuit honoring spirits. You drift with the modern traveler watching a spout rise in the distance. The legends surround you. The encounters guide you. The giant carries you. Close your eyes. Feel the weight of myth. Feel the calm of encounter. Feel the presence of the Colossus. The whale is legend. The whale is memory. The whale is truth. You drift deeper and deeper into calm, into peace, into sleep. The blue whale is eternal, not in body, for each whale lives perhaps 90 years, not in individual, for each life ends, but in presence, in lineage, in memory. The blue whale is eternal. It has swum for millions of years. It has endured ice ages. It has survived warming seas. It has faced harpoons. It has faced scarcity. Yet it continues. The Silent Colossus remains. The whale is eternal in symbol. It is carved into our myths. It is painted into our art. It is written into our stories. From Leviathan to Moby Dick, from totems to poetry. The whale is eternal in culture. We carry it in imagination. We carry it in legend. Even when unseen, the whale lives in our minds. The whale is eternal in impact. Its presence shapes oceans. Its feeding enriches waters. Its death feeds the deep. Its songs fill the seas. The whale is not just animal. It is ecosystem. It is engineer. It is creator. The ocean without whales would be lesser. The ocean with whales is eternal. Consider the scale of time. Humans measure centuries. Civilizations rise and fall in thousands of years. The lineage of whales spans 50 million. The first steps from land to sea. The first dives. The first songs. All written in ages beyond our comprehension. When we see a whale today, we see not only one life. We see millions of years. We see eternity in flesh. The eternal giant humbles us. Our machines are large, but temporary. Our cities are vast, but fragile. The whale is nature itself, given form. No empire lasts as long as its lineage. No monument carries as much weight. The whale is a reminder of smallness, of transience, of eternity beyond us. The future of the whale depends on us. We nearly ended them in the age of whaling. Their numbers fell to a few thousand. But we stopped. We changed. We protected. Populations began to grow again. Slowly, fragilely, but they grew. This proves hope. This proves we can guard eternity. If we choose climate change is the new threat. Warming seas may reduce krill. Ice may vanish. Currents may shift. The feast may falter. The giants may weaken. But still they endure. Still they roam. Still they sing. The whale teaches resilience. The whale teaches patience. It carries eternity not by force, but by endurance. The eternal giant is also a teacher. It shows us connection. The smallest krill sustain the largest whale. The whale sustains the ocean. The ocean sustains the planet. The planet sustains us. All linked, all dependent, all fragile. The whale is lesson. The whale is truth. For those who have seen one, the memory is eternal. The blow in the morning light, the roll of the back, the lift of the fluke, the dive into silence. These images do not fade. They remain in mind. They remain in heart. They are eternal moments, gifts from the giant. For those who have heard one, the sound is eternal. The deep call rolling through water, the vibration felt in the chest, the resonance lasting beyond the moment. These sounds echo in memory. They echo in dreams. They are eternal voices, songs of the giant dot. At night, the eternal giant swims beneath the stars. The sky filled with light. The sea filled with darkness. The whale moves steady. The blow rises silver in the moonlight. The song rolls through the deep. The presence endures. The ocean breathes with the giant. The earth breathes with the giant. Imagine yourself floating beside it. You feel its rhythm. You feel its calm. You feel its eternity. You drift with it through dark waters. You drift with it through time itself. Each beat of its heart, a reminder of life. Each breath, a reminder of survival. Each dive, a reminder of eternity. The eternal giant is not monster. It is not myth. It is truth. It is wonder. It is balance. It is hope. It carries the ocean in its body. It carries time in its blood. It carries eternity in its song. Close your eyes. Hear the breath. Hear the song. Feel the calm. Feel the presence. The eternal giant carries you. into silence, into peace, into rest. You drift with it now. You drift deeper and deeper. The ocean holds you. The Colossus guides you. The eternal giant surrounds you. You are safe. You are calm. You are eternal. You fall into dreams. You fall into sleep.